This is a treasure hunting series, episode 9 of this Another Estate Cleanup. So stay tuned and we're going to go look at that shed way back there in the back today. Hey, welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. Thank you for joining me on this Another Estate Cleanup. This is the treasure hunting series. Today we're going to take a peek in this shed right here. And I have the combination, so let's open that door. Okay, the first thing that stands out when you walk into the shed is this big KL130 Coyote tractor. This is a diesel tractor. I've used it a couple of times here on the farm, helping out with chores and doing other tasks, and this is a beast. This is great. But this is not part of the treasure. A couple of the implements that goes with this tractor is this rear tine tiller that runs off the PTO in the back, and also this big brush hog. I don't know what she's going to do with these things. If I could afford it, I would definitely buy it. So as you can see, as I pan around, there's not much in here as far as treasure goes. There's some more garden tools that she's giving me, and then all these gas cans and spray bottles here in the corner. And down here under this tarp, there's some tools that would come in handy for the homestead. Back here in the corner is nothing but a pile of unused insulation, and over here in the corner behind the implement is something very interesting. Let's talk about that. So in this shed there's not so much as treasures as most people would think, but the items piled behind this farm implement in the corner here are the treasure, which is interesting, and they have a fascinating story behind them. What those are kites. They're called the spinning Janie kite, and the story behind this spinning Janie kite is that Carl was the gentleman's name when he was a child. He had a fascination with making kites, making his own homemade kites when he was growing up in Montana. And then later, he and his wife married and moved to San Francisco and ran the gospel mission on Skid Row. And they would take opportunities, and they would fly kites down on the bay and stuff. And then they bought this ranch here. In 1974, I believe, is when they purchased this ranch, and he had this building built. Now this building is a kite factory. That's what he had it designed for, is to build these kites that he had developed. He got the concept from the kites out of the Bible. That's right. So the concept from the Bible came from the book of Ezekiel, the flying scroll. The dimensions of that flying scroll, it mentions, it was twice as long as it was wide. So he took that concept and that formula straight from the Bible and applied it to the design of this kite, the spinning Janie. The spinning Janie actually is designed to be held open by the front by sticks, and just billow out. The wind billows through the kite, giving its form, and there's little triangles on the back of the kite which causes it to spin. You need a proper spinner on the front of the kite to be able to make it operate correctly. The spinning Janie derived its name from Carl's nickname he had for his wife Joanne. He called her Janie, and thus we have the name the spinning Janie. They got a patent on this kite concept. They sold the patent to a Swedish company, I believe it was Sweden, and they manufactured these for retail sales around the world. These are really popular in Europe. And the same concept of these kites were applied where folks are adding a generator to this kite, running it through an electrical wire and putting it in a area where there's a steady wind blowing, and they can generate electricity just from this kite spinning somehow, and spinning that turbine that's in the kite. I recall one story that Carl had relayed to me, that him and Janie were down on the beach in San Francisco flying their prototype, and this gentleman stopped by and inquired how in the world did he come up with that design. And Carl related to him it came from the book of Ezekiel, the flying scroll. Well, the gentleman, whom was a physicist employed with NASA, had mentioned to Carl they have been trying to figure out that flying scroll in Ezekiel for years. And it was the humble retired postman who serves the poor and the homeless in San Francisco to discover the application of Ezekiel's flying scroll and put it into flight. I should note these kites do come in different sizes. They have small ones, they have medium ones, this is a medium one, they have large ones and giant ones. And that's what this one is back here. This is a giant one. Well, that's it for this shed. Now, like I said, there's not much in here that I gleaned from, just a few tools and stuff, but as an interesting story about those spinning Janie kites for you guys to enjoy. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen at Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I want to thank you guys for coming. You can follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Reddit, and we're also on Google+. Please subscribe if you're not already, and be sure to share my videos. That helps my channel out a lot. We'll see you guys again in more videos. Bye-bye.